Now, the city of Berlin has banned an upcoming weekend protest against measures to curb COVID-19. The decision was taken in light of the rising number of coronavirus cases in Germany. Now, Berlin's State Interior Minister has said that he will not let the German capital become the center of a growing movement against virus prevention measures in Europe. The move follows one such demonstration on the 1st of August in Berlin, where organizers promised to wear masks and maintain social distancing but refused to do so during the rally. Now, 20,000 people marched through Berlin on that day without any safety measures. Authorities are intent on preventing a repeat of that.
Berlin kann nicht zum Ort von solchen Corona-Leugner-Demonstrationen werden. Wird ja inzwischen deutschlandweit und europaweit auch dazu aufgerufen. Und ich kann nicht bewusst dieses Risiko für die Kolleginnen und Kollegen der Polizei, aber eben auch für die Teilnehmerinnen und Teilnehmer.
The anti-lockdown movement has attracted libertarians, constitutional loyalists, far-right ideologues and anti-vaccination campaigners. They have planned a massive rally this weekend to oppose the reimposition of virus prevention measures. Germany has witnessed a steady spike in COVID-19 cases since July, prompting the government to bring back some curbs. Now, the Berlin government argues that freedom of expression must not violate laws. The State Interior Minister said that he will deploy thousands of police officers over the weekend to enforce the ban. But the protesters have vowed to go ahead with their demonstration.
Wir sind ein demokratisches, freies Land. Es gibt selbstverständlich die Möglichkeit, seine Meinung zu äußern, auch öffentlich zu äußern, sofern man nicht gegen Recht verstößt. Aber wenn man bewusst gegen geltendes Recht verstoßen möchte, dann muss der Staat auch deutlich machen, dass er gewillt ist, seine Regeln durchzusetzen. Und deshalb habe ich die Erwartung an die Demonstrantinnen und Demonstranten, dass sie dieses Verbot akzeptieren.
Janelle de Melon, a DW correspondent, joins us live from Berlin for more on this now. Good evening to you, Janelle. Germany has agreed stricter measures to now help contain the spread of coronavirus as cases continue an upward tick. Why are the new rules coming in now?
Now, it's important to note that the object of the protest for many of these demonstrators is, in fact, these same social distancing and hygiene measures. Those are the rules that they're protesting against. As such, it's not difficult to imagine that when such a protest comes again, many of them will not be social distancing or wearing masks. Now, because they view that as an infringement on their civil liberties, on their individual freedoms. Now, at this point, it's important to realize that in Germany, we didn't have the strictest lockdown. You can go outside without a mask. You can visit restaurants and bars. They've remained open. And in fact, the majority of Germans surveyed say that they back these restrictions. And the next biggest group within that survey would say that these measures don't even go far enough. Now, what you really have here is a small minority that say that they are completely against these restrictions. And if you look into that minority again, you will find that many of them don't believe in the existence of the coronavirus itself. So any restrictive measure to them will seem draconian and unnecessary. So many are assuming that come Saturday, many of them will come in their hundreds or even their thousands. And that's something that the police is definitely preparing for. Officials have even warned about the prospect of violence. And it's difficult to overestimate how fraught the situation can become.
Right, Janelle, and this is all being done in an effort to stave off new stringent lockdown measures and another hit then to Germany's economy. How bad is the situation currently?
Indeed, they haven't really reimposed lockdown measures or such, or even really changed the rules. What they've tried to do among the federal states is sort of kind of harmonize the response, because they were coming up with different answers to the same key matters: how to punish non-mask wearers, or how hard to punish them, how to deal with returning travelers, how to deal with mass gatherings. And essentially, you have this situation where, say, in some states, there would be no mask fine, but you go over to the next state, and then suddenly the mask fine is hundreds of euros. So we're no longer in a situation like that. Everybody now understands that the minimum fine for not wearing a mask in places like shops or public transportation is set at 50 euros. Large mass gatherings are banned, but what there is no agreement on is private gatherings. The government, of course, understandably, is having difficulty telling people how many people are allowed to gather in their own private homes. This is also tricky because private gatherings have been seen as a vector for coronavirus infections here in Germany. So generally, what is happening is that federal states are really trying to harmonize the response at a time where infections are growing here in Germany. We're seeing more than 1,000 new cases per day, and that's a situation that obviously has to be dealt with.
Now, the ban on the massive anti-coronavirus rules protest was announced earlier this week, but the protesters have said that the demonstrations will go ahead regardless. What are we expecting this weekend?
Well, it's hard to say. What we already saw a lot on social media with our hashtags and say on Twitter and social messaging services like Telegram, many of them are saying that this banning of the demonstration is a violation of their constitutional rights that they will not stand for. As such, it's very important for them to appear in Berlin on Saturday. I've seen many messages on social media itself of people I see that are planning to go. But once again, so everyone seems clear that we will see the presence of these protesters on Saturday, and it really will depend on the police response, how quickly they shut it down. It's like where they'll be waiting for them. But once again, it is very important to stress that these people, although very loud, are the minority in Germany, even though we can't expect them to dominate the news cycle tomorrow.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much for that report.